Hey everyone, shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me say hello to everybody who is here. Bossy, my members here, shout out to you. Let me see if I have anybody else. I got another device here that I'm checking. Shout out to everybody. Kat, Brianna, Amelia says intro's too long. Amelia, you're not the only one that has said that, and I'm not changing my intro until I'm ready to change my intro. So thank you so much for the feedback. I know it's long. You can always fast forward. It's about 2 minutes in because I have to do what I got to do to get my stuff ready. And it's a good countdown for me. Okay. So, very much appreciate you, love. Thank you for the feedback. Let's move on. Julie, welcome. Stephanie, Meg, welcome from New York. Thank you. Silence is betrayal. Marlena, welcome. Marlena Cantu. Yes, definitely. Such sad news. Hey, Keisha, how are you? How are you? No, love the intro. You guys are awesome. Saucy, welcome. Good evening. Hey, Vicky Lynn. Good evening. Shout out to you guys. Louisiana Lady. All my regulars are here too. Brooklyn, Mir, Lemire. How are you? Nine. Danielle, welcome. Hey, TT. How are you? Hey, Julie. Welcome. New subs. Shout out to the new subs. Oh my God, I'm so excited for the new subs. Thank you guys for coming. All the new members. We got a bunch of new members. Shout out to you guys. All right. So I did a little poll, and because I want to cater to everybody that's coming in. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys vote on my little poll, okay? Because that is helpful for me to know where to start. Let me see. Let me see. It looks like we're going to start with Quentin Simon first, based on those numbers. Hey, Soul, welcome, Australia. Shout out to everybody. Russell, thank you. Hola, hola, Minnesota. Brenda, ¿cómo estás? Thank you, guys. Oh, you guys are awesome. California, shout out to you. I find myself dancing in the intro. I have various intros too, so I could always spice it up, but I have to do an intro that's appropriate for the mood. Sometimes depending on the music. Hey, Miss Sassy, look at her. Shout out to you. Welcome. I love this. Look at that. All my regulars, all my beautiful members are here. Okay, one thing I have to do better about, and I need you guys to help me with this as well. Hold me accountable to this. One thing I don't do, thank you. You just said it. One thing I don't do very well is uh, reminding people to hit the like button. So I'm going to start. My goal is setting up like goals during my lives to hit like a goal, right? So if I have 85 people, I guess my goal would be to hit, I don't know, 45 likes or something. Because that kind of helps me out. I need to do a better job about that. I don't do it very often. Hey, LG, welcome. Bright Art, welcome. Yes, Saucy. This thing with Quentin Simon is just too much. So I actually started the stream by putting in a link. Okay, this is one of the what is it called? One of the lives that I did a couple months ago. On Billie Jo and Leilani. I had been covering this. I think I want to say maybe about 2 months or so. 2 months or so, specifically on the guardianship part. As somebody that has worked in social services, I kind of understand how this works. And so when I asked you guys in my poll, I said, you know what? Um, I'm kind of curious to know how this whole, like, she having custody, she left the state, or it left for vacation or whatever the hell she left, her Billie Jo left. Okay, she totally left and left her child, okay, left the baby boy with Leilani, who at that time probably shouldn't have been left with, right? So Billie Jo has had guardianship of this kid. This is why CPS came and they took those other kids out. And I felt like that was a very important thing to bring up, because people think that Billie Jo can't get charges over there. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. Right now, Leilani's arrested, okay? But Billie Jo can definitely be charged either with child endangerment or neglect or something. Now, does it carry the weight of, say, murder? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And as far as the other kids, it definitely puts the other kids in jeopardy as well, in terms of her ability and her ability to protect those kids, right? Because clearly she didn't do it with Quentin Simon. She has full custody. She leaves these kids with the biological mother, and now you have this biological mother arrested and charged with murder. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. Thank you guys. Greg says, not a new sub, but a lurker. LOL from my stop. You know what, you lurkers? If you don't become subs, then I don't have anything else to say to you anymore. Thank you, Greg. You kind of hurt my feelings. Gumby was my favorite cartoon growing up. Not gonna lie, I love your name. Shout out to you. Unfortunately, she wasn't a good. You're absolutely right. She was not a good guardian. Thank you. It Talks Baby Heroes is in the house. Was my mod and a member. Magic. She's a new member, so she'd be charged with child endangerment. Yeah, I have a feeling she will be. I definitely have a feeling she will be because she knew that mom was not an adequate caregiver. Let's just be real. We know that this is going to happen. It might not happen right away, but it will likely happen later on. So let's play this. They had the presser today, updates. I could tell you guys that this has been such an overwhelming case for the community as a whole. Now, I'm like, I have to do some dragging. Do you guys want the dragging now or do you want it after we watch this? You know what? Let's watch this first and then I'll do some dragging after that because I got some dragging to do today. But let's go ahead and play this.
Everybody, Jeff Hadley. I'm the Chief of Police for the Chatham County Police Department. I'm accompanied this evening by Will Clark with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This afternoon, Chatham County Police Department detectives arrested 22-year-old Leilani Simon and charged her with malice murder, concealing the death of another person, false reporting, and making false statements in connection with the disappearance and death of her son, 20-month-old Quentin Simon. Leilani Simon is being held at the Chatham County Detention Center and is awaiting a bond hearing. We do not anticipate any other arrests in this case. She has been the sole suspect from the beginning. On Friday, our search teams at the waste management landfill found what they believed were human remains. This afternoon, the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia confirmed that they are, in fact, human remains. Additional testing, including a DNA analysis, is being conducted, and we have every reason to believe that this will confirm the remains are Quentin's. This is a heartbreaking development for everyone who loved Quentin, for the many people who came to know him after his disappearance, and for our department. When we first received the call that Quentin was missing, we were hopeful that we would find him alive and unharmed. But as we have been telling you for weeks, all of our evidence pointed to his mother being responsible for his death and disappearance and his remains being found in the landfill. I would like to thank the many people and agencies who worked hard to ensure that Quentin was found, that he would have a proper resting place, and that justice would be served. First and foremost, I want to thank the FBI. We are incredibly grateful for their invaluable assistance, their expertise.
You could tell that this officer is very worked up. Shout out to the glare because he was playing this too, and I could see it in his eyes. He was like, you could just see it. Like even I'm getting choked up looking at his face because you could tell that this is something that they've been working on trying to figure out. They found the remains, drop some, when police do good work, because there's a lot of great officers out there. Shout out to our officers and people that do service out in the community. There really are good officers out there. There's some fucking bad apples that ruin it for a lot of people, but there are some really good officers out there. Can we please just drop some purple hearts, or excuse me, blue hearts for these officers who had been digging, okay? And digging and doing what they had to do. It was a serious search operation. It took man hours. This is a serious thing, and we need to see more of this around for all the babies in the world that have to go through this. You know, you don't choose your parents. You don't get to pick the parents in this lifetime, right? But this was a shitty situation, and I get worked up just even seeing his face because you could tell he's very worked up.
Their manpower, resources, and guidance are unmatched and were crucial in our efforts to find Quentin. They were on the scene within 3 hours of Quentin being reported missing and have assisted with every aspect of this investigation. The resources they poured into the landfill search are extraordinary and are the reason that we were able to find Quentin. I can't thank them enough. Chatham County Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division also deserves special recognition. Their devotion to Quentin to making sure this crime did not go unsolved is an example of police work at its finest. Our detectives worked tirelessly and were determined to follow every lead and uncover every piece of evidence in this case. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, and Department of Natural Resources all had officers searching the landfill alongside our officers in the FBI. The support of the Chatham County Emergency Management Agency, Chatham Emergency Services, Chatham Occupational Safety and Health, Savannah Police, and Savannah Fire also were invaluable in this massive effort. Finally, I would like to thank the many people who showed their support for our department during this incredibly difficult and important investigation. We appreciate those who kept faith in the system and waited patiently for evidence we needed to make sure Quentin has every opportunity to receive the justice he deserves. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Will Clark, who has some comments from the FBI.
Good evening. My name is Will Clark. I'm the Senior Supervisory Resident Agent of the Savannah and Brunswick offices of the FBI. 1 month ago, we began this landfill search alongside Chatham County Police Department with one purpose in mind, and that was to find Quentin and to bring him home. On Friday, search crews from the FBI and Chatham County found what we preliminarily believe are partial remains from a human child. Those bones were immediately sent to our lab in Quantico, Virginia. Additional testing for potential confirmation is now underway. It could be days before we have final results. What happened to this 20-month-old child is unthinkable. No child should be harmed by anyone, let alone the person in their lives that should be their protector. This investigation does not end here. There is more work to do. The FBI, along with our law enforcement partners, will continue to find justice for Quentin. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll appreciate that. And we'll try to answer some questions that you may have. Just be mindful that there's many we may not be able to answer, but we'll be willing to take some questions at this time.
Chief Hadley said that you guys found bones in the landfill. Is that?
We found human remains. Yes, ma'am.
Chief, do you believe the point that Quentin was put in that dumpster, do you believe that he was alive then or had died before he was in the dumpster and then made it to the landfill?
Could you, I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry.
Do you believe that Quentin Simon was alive when he was in the landfill? Do you believe he died before he was put in that dumpster?
I can't answer that question.
You've charged Leilani with murder. Can you speak on whether you think it was accidental or intentional?
I can't speak to that.
Can you talk a little bit about what evidence you all confirmed or learned on Friday led you all to go ahead and make that arrest specifically for today versus earlier on?
Well, as we had said from the beginning with the landfill, we had every belief that Quentin was there in the landfill. Having found what we found on Friday and the preliminary findings from the FBI that we got today led us to make an arrest today. We feel that we have a very strong case. We have put thousands of hours into this, and we believed that this was the right move today to be able to do that. She doesn't deserve a Thanksgiving, quite frankly, if I can go off script a little bit. Quentin deserves that.
You said that you didn't believe any other arrest would be made. Are you guys looking into Billie Jo at all?
We are not.
And so you just confirm, kind of clarify that you all were looking to find some sort of remains from the body to go ahead and move forward with the arrest.
That's correct.
Chief, would the charges have been the same in this case had you not made that discovery on Friday? Say if this case had continued, the search found nothing in the landfill, would you still have been able to make a case for Quentin to have justice, or how significant was this find?
Well, it was very significant, obviously, for obvious reasons. We do believe we had a strong case otherwise, but that would have been in counsel with the Chatham County District Attorney's Office, but we believe we had a strong case otherwise.
You've certainly been very personal about this, and you said at that landfill that day with the picture behind you, you said, we want to make sure we bring Quentin home and we give him a final place of rest. We wanted him to be able to make sure he wasn't in that dump. On Friday, how personal was that find for you?
Well, it was very personal, quite frankly. I mean, there's a lot of aspects to that. I mean, knowing the hard work that went into this investigation, everybody, not just Chatham County Police Department, but everybody that chipped in, the FBI, GBI, DNR, Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the civilians, you name it, from A to Z.
This is so tough to watch. What did he say? They don't deserve a Thanksgiving. I most definitely would have to second that statement, period. Hey, Lysandra, welcome. It is a lot, yo. This is heavy. This is heavy. Greg, now Hope Billy, Hope Billy is charged for child endangerment for allowing Leilani around those kids in the first place. Billy has raised two murders. Think of that. Oh my God, yo. I would think that she would need to be as well. She was guardian of those children. She definitely, in my opinion, needs to be, with not with endangerment and or neglect or both.
Z, we were 100% committed to bringing justice for Quentin and to appreciate the amount of human effort, the amount of human emotion that goes into a case like this, and to appreciate, hopefully, that this comes to a conclusion in terms of a conviction and things of that nature. You have a lot of emotions about that. You also have a lot of emotions as just a general human being, as a person who has children. You see the impact that that has on people. So if you step back and take a moment to kind of absorb that, I think that if you didn't have any feelings about that, you might have to ask yourself a few questions.
Like, there is evidence collected outside of the search in the landfill, the remains you guys found on Friday. Was there any evidence you guys found in the searches you guys did at the pool, cell phone, or computers, or anything that also led to the arrest?
I can't answer that.
Has Leilani's status as a flagrant changed, or did it change prior to the arrest?
No.
Chief, you say this preliminary, you would assume there isn't other human remains in that landfill. But until you get it fully 100% confirmed that these are remains, what makes you confident to make the arrest today?
I can't get into the high level of detail, but just on some of the preliminary information that we got from the FBI, we have a high level of confidence that those are Quentin's remains. And we felt that we needed to make the arrest today because that was the right thing to do.
There was a
When you
lot
say
of pressure
human
in the last.
remains, what kind of remains are we talking when you say human remains? Any more specific details about?
No, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'm all for the press and answering questions, but sometimes the press will ask some stupid questions. What body type of remains? I'm just like, yo, they're baby remains. He just said it. They're pretty sure it's her. They have an arrest. Why do you guys ask some stupid ass questions? I'm sorry, I get triggered by this. I don't get it. Like some of these people need something different. I don't know.
Chief, this case has been one that has made national news.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of pressure against you personally with your name out of the mouth of protesters, out of the mouth of people in the community. You've gotten a lot of pressure about making this arrest. Sitting here today and knowing that you have this key piece of evidence, as you just said, what kind of message do you send to the community? For people, A, that had your back, that said, yes, we're going to wait on the police to do this. And then to the people who said, this arrest should have happened almost 50 days ago.
Well, I didn't honestly feel a lot of pressure, quite frankly, only because I believed in our investigative process, the expertise that we were seeking that was around us, having a little bit of experience, in this profession. I understood people's perspective. I understood that, some people had their own strong feelings about when an arrest should be made and things that were going on. But we stayed focused on what we know and what we know how to do. And in conjunction with the FBI, we stayed the course. And so to those folks that supported us, to the citizens that believed in us and believed in our department, I thank you. And for those that had questions, that's their right to do so. This is America. You can have all the opinions you want, but I'm just so proud of our team and where we're at today.
I love what he just did there, okay? People were pushing for an arrest. Guys, you can't push for arrests to happen when you have to stay the course. So let me get to the little dragging a little bit here because this goes to Betty, Justin, Molly, Dolly, and the other hecklers out there, okay? The crazy part to me is, how do you even go about taking credit over the fact that they found the body and they made an arrest, or they found remains and they made an arrest? You can't take credit for that. I find it so disgusting that the first thing that Molly Golightly did was post on her community wall, "Good job. We did great. Good job." Your heckling didn't bring anything to the table. It didn't bring an arrest. It didn't bring the body, the remains, or anything. It didn't do anything but cause hardship. People were taken out of sight. People had to stay focused on the course because you had these dumb fucks, 6 or 7 of them out there doing what they fucking do, is heckling and making money. And the fact that they would even think that somehow they're owed an award or a blue heart or something, it's stupid. You guys remember a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, when you had Justice for All, Justin? He reported, he misreported and misinformed everybody that the body of Quentin Simon had been found. Disgusting. All for clicks and views. All of it. Misinformation. Everybody clicked on it. And then what did he do? Hurry up and delete it because he didn't want to be embarrassed. He didn't want that to happen. No. Oh, we caught it. I caught the whole thing. Caught the whole thing. We haven't forgotten that. We haven't forgotten that at all. Immediately he deleted that. It's crazy, yo.
Conclusion, as far as today's conclusion, do you feel like there's a sense of relief as far as first law officers, FBI agents to come to an arrest and go ahead and move forward with this case?
Sure there is. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say that there was, some weight lifted off of the organization, and particularly those detectives and investigators who were completely and 100% committed to seeking justice for Quentin. So there is a little bit of relief, but be mindful there's still a lot of work to do, and they're dedicated to doing that, and we want to see this to successful prosecution.
I got a two-parter. Is the landfill search over?
We haven't made that decision yet. That's a decision point that we'll come to once we're able to get some more analysis done, and we'll confer with the FBI and see what the best course of action is.
And Leilani is also charged with making false statements. What false statements did she make?
I can't get into that.
Is she cooperating with police right now? Is Leilani cooperating with police?
She's at the Chatham County Detention Center right now.
And as far as to go back to the initial question that I asked about whether or not you guys found phones in the landfill, because it's the question that you said human remains. So which one is it?
Well, human remains, some of that are some of them are human bones, and some other evidentiary matters.
And as far as the bond, is there you all have to be updated as to when that would be the bond hearing, when that would be?
I do not have that confirmed. I do believe it'll take place tomorrow, but I don't have any time or any confirmation on that.
I go back to the stupid questions piece. Shout out to all the members that are coming in, Miss Dailies and Miss Magic as well. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for coming in. It's too much, yo. Some of the questions that are asking in the press, I'm like, do you guys, some of these questions are so irrelevant. And really, like, what is the point of it? There's an arrest. They're going to be checking the remains and identifying. They're pretty sure that this is baby Quentin. And I honestly do believe it. I feel like they were very good about being airtight despite the distractions and the hecklers that were happening. They did an awesome job. All those other hecklers need to go somewhere with that, because there was nothing about bringing justice to anybody. What they did was a distraction. You tell me what good came out of the heckling. I want to know. If somebody's in the comments, now I'm getting mad. If somebody's in the comments that supported the heckling, you tell me how the heckling of that whole neighborhood and standing out there did any good to bringing justice to any of this. You tell me. I'd like to know. Heckling, what did it do? It took away from all of it. It's crazy. You could barely hear the officer. I know. It's kind of hard because he's not right at the mic. They caused a nuisance. They absolutely did. I'd like to know. What did they do? What did they do but heckle? They took away resources, nothing. It was a public nuisance. That's what they did. It was a spectacle. It was YouTube content. That's all it was. It's all it was. Period. That's all it was. Nothing. And it's so crazy because I still had people in the comments that said the protesters, they were there for a good reason. They're going to make Leilani confess. That's what they told me. They're going to make Leilani confess. Yeah. Yeah, they totally did.
We did, take her to the detention center rather late in the day. So I'm sure that information will come out for you.
Leilani made a statement to me that she would turn herself in. Was there any talk of giving her that opportunity?
No.
Chief, you said in the beginning that when we're at the landfill, you said that there's a very specific dumpster that this job was put in. Can you just give us the location of that? How far this was from the house where Quentin was last seen?
I can't give you that information.
I have one more question. Can you just give
Last
us more of
question.
an estimate on how long this analysis would take? Of what you guys found?
It could take up to a week. And I have one last comment, and I want to thank you guys. Because just like sometimes law enforcement gets the short end of the stick, you guys get the short end of the stick too. And you guys have been amazing, our local media throughout this. You've been fair, you've been direct, you've asked good questions, and you've, given us some deference when we needed some deference. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your work that you do every day. Thank you.
The sound, I'm sorry, who said they couldn't hear? They couldn't hear. Beth, yeah, he needed to stand up right next to the mic. It's kind of hard. The volume is already up on the Facebook, but you guys go check out the Facebook on Chatham County Police. They have the whole thing right there. He's a very nice man. Shout out to him. I mean, seriously, can you imagine? You got these ugly ass hecklers over here, doing just destruction, thinking that they're doing something, and they're not doing shit to this whatsoever, but causing chaos, causing confusion, nothing. They did nothing. And you know what? I don't care who gets mad. I'm saying it. It's ridiculous. Look, this is, and I actually saw this on Icamel. You guys check out Icamel. But he had actually pulled this out too. I was watching this. This is when they were taking her in. Let's see if I can make this bigger. That's them during the arrest. There you go. There she is, walking. Absolutely. Defamation, period. Right. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me make sure I close this out real quick. Let me close this out. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot to consume. Let me do some rabbit twerking for everybody. You guys are doing too much. Let me do some rabbit twerking to kind of decompose and move on to the next subject, because Quentin Simon is just such a hard topic. We'll be talking about it here and there, just keeping everybody up to date about it. I don't even know. I don't even know what to make of it anymore. And the fact that the audacity that these hecklers have on YouTube to say that they did Jesus work. Like, I can't with you guys. I can't, yo. I can't. Let me go ahead and do some rabbit twerking to lighten up the mood. It's too much, yo. And that's what I have to say to the hecklers. I'm going to tell you what I have to say. I'm gonna have to. What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the
I had a
reason?
reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
That clip right there is everything. What was the reason? What was the reason for all of that? Period. There was no need for any of that. What was the reason? They're trash. Okay. All right. I feel a little bit better now. We can transition to the next because I'm not going to be here for too long. I wanted to bring a point up. We were talking about the Idaho, the students, University of Idaho, and the student victims, about what's been happening and what's going on with that. One thing I could not, and shout out to Grizzly True Crime. I think it's True Crime Grizzly. I don't want to mess up the name. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get it. Oh, here it is. Grizzly True Crime. Grizzly True Crime. Something that kept coming up. Okay, and I wanted to point this out, and I'm probably going to do a video on this because I'm really confused by this. If you were joining me earlier in the live, we talked about a stalker. This thing about a stalker keeps coming up. I don't know if it was Kaylee or somebody else that was talking about a stalker. I'm just kind of curious to know where this came from. Now, in my chat, somebody had said the stalker was mentioned by the sister. I don't think she did. I'm just trying to figure out why the stalker hasn't been talked about in the press conferences that the police has done. Yeah, Cat D, in the press conferences that the police have talked about, they haven't mentioned a stalker. I haven't heard a stalker directly. But this man here that was talking about it said that he had heard that there was a stalker. So if we're looking to see who, yeah, he can't be trusted. I'm trying to figure out why the hell is this man is he speaking for the family? Listen to what he said, because I heard it. I was like, I know I'm not crazy. I heard it somewhere. Watch it. Grizzly True Crime heard it as well, and they actually put the clip up.
And I agree with this. It was twice removed from the person that said it, Kaylee. But Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I talked to one student, and I agree with this. It was twice removed from the person that said it, Kaylee. But Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I talked to
Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I remember seeing the interview in full too, and I had seen it. I said, somebody's got to have the clip. Somebody has to have the clip. Okay, so we were talking about, there's been other interviews and stuff, and I'm just kind of piecing things together. I know that the family has been a huge defense for the ex-boyfriend, because they kept kind of going back and forth. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, but where did this stalker thing come from? The family hasn't addressed it. Police hasn't addressed it. I want to know, where did this come from? I haven't heard anyone mention it either than the clip. And I know where the full thing is at, Clark. I know where it's at. I'm going to find it. We're going to put it in a video. I heard it. So is he the only one that said it? Because if there was a stalker, and there was 2 months ago, I mean, I think stalker, I'm thinking that there's been a criminal thing. Somebody has been dubbed a stalker. I'm just curious to know where the hell that came from. The person who murdered them was angry. Yeah, we know that. But I have a feeling that police already know who it is. They're not coming forward, so they're having to check all the other stuff. I mean, they have to check everything, right? The crime scene was a mess. That's what we were told. Why, Christina, why is Mark the only person talking about this? And who does Mark know in the family to say that? Or is he just talking out of his ass? None of this makes sense. The ass talking doesn't make sense, yo. It doesn't. We have to figure this out. But did he pick it up from Reddit, though? Run with Scissors? Because I remember this specifically. They were talking about Kaylee. And they said, and let me play it again, yo. Shout out to Grizzly.
To one student, and I agree with this. It was twice removed from the person that said it, Kaylee. But Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I talked to one student, and I agree with this. It was twice removed from.
If you believe what Mark is saying, he's saying, I talked to a student, and I believe this, but Kaylee had a stalker. So the sir guy person, Mr. Mark is going by what another student sent to bring it here in the media. And I'm just wondering, well, Mr. Mark, did you consult with the family? Because at this point, I don't even know what do we believe? What do we believe? Twice removed, right? Flash in the pan. I'd like to know, well, what does that even mean? Like a friend that was a friend of a friend? Let me tell you something. The way people gossip, it's just, this is not the time and day, Mr. Mark, or anybody else. You got to bring some receipts nowadays with this stuff and allegations. We just don't even know anymore. I don't know. I heard somebody who was stalking Kaylee. Okay, that's a different. Oh, Kaylee? Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think they know who did it. They're gathering evidence. Listen to what the police aren't saying. Absolutely, Magic. We talked about that this morning. So my thought is this. Is Mr. Mark here just reporting hearsay as somebody that maybe knew the friends and know the friends of a friend? Doesn't really know directly Kaylee, and he's just like, camera time. Let me get on this camera. Because, people do this shit all the time. Even people who are well known can do this shit all the time. It's called clout chasing, unfortunately. I don't know. Patty says, stalker implies a secret unknown admirer. I don't know, yo. I don't know. And I kind of, yeah. Everybody's like, what the fuck does Furman mean by twice removed? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's okay. It's Kaylee. You're fine, Saucy. Don't worry. He's a big cloud chaser. I mean, I don't trust anything he says at this point. How the hell you go by, I spoke to the friend and the friend told me.
From the person that said it, Kaylee, but Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I talked to one student, and I agree with this. It was twice removed from the person that said it, Kaylee, but Kaylee 2 months ago complained about a stalker. I talked to one student.
So the student twice removed complained about a stalker who knows Kaylee, but he doesn't know Kaylee. He's just, this is like really bad reporting. Hearsay. Thank you. Stuck on strings. Hearsay. I don't know. So what I'm going to do, yeah, everybody, you guys are all reacting. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look into this a little bit more because I find it funny. The sister and everybody in there is talking. They're very vocal about what's going on. I have a this is why I was like, I thought the sister said, but it wasn't the sister that said it. It was Mr. Mark Furman that said it. How do you know if the student is trying the truth, sir? Right. Is telling the truth. Right. He didn't hear it from the friend who Kaylee told, but the friend of a friend twice removed. In short, he was being nosy and he was talking to some friends that possibly know Kaylee. And, she probably had a stalker. No. I don't know. What do you guys think?
How about no?
How about no? I don't know. That being said, though, you guys let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm going to look into it. I don't even know where he came from. Does he even know the family? Everybody's calling him a worm. You guys, be nice. Be nice. Yo, you guys are dragging in the comments. Be nice. I don't know. I'm going to say, how about no? That being said, though, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to head out. I just wanted to come here and give some commentary to the arrest of Leilani. Shout out to Mr. Hadley, Chief Hadley, for his service and everybody else that worked there. Thank you for ignoring all the BS and all the YouTube stuff and the hecklers. They are no better. They're just trash, period. You heard me. You're trash, period. Trash. That's it. You're just trash. And thank you guys for joining. You're late. You're going to have to watch the rerun. A worm. You guys are calling him a worm. Listen, Why be nice? He's not credible. I'm just saying, I don't even know the guy. Well, he clearly is incredible if he heard it from a friend of a friend of a friend. I said, no, you didn't. That's like worse than TMZ. Worse. That being said, though, thank you guys for joining me. Make sure, and I'm going to tell you guys, okay, when shit gets too much on the internet, don't forget, okay? Don't forget.
Time to put that phone down. Time to put that phone down.
Time to put the phone down if things get a little too much. Okay? Period. All right, guys. You guys have oh my God, Patty. Don't tell me that. Jesus Christ. If the shoe fits. Oh my God, you guys are too much. All right, I got to head out of here, but you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm out of here. Bye, guys.